Okay, and welcome to your video tutorial on surface area of cylinders. Today we are going to have a look at the surface area of cylinders and how we can actually calculate that. Okay, what we're looking at, well, the net of a cylinder. Okay, so when we take a cylinder and we make a flat image of it, it actually consists of two circles, one at the top and one at the bottom, and a rectangle. But the cool thing you're going to learn about today is the length of the rectangle, or one side of the rectangle, is equal to the circumference of the cylinder. So let me show you what I mean here in this picture. So let's just start with, ignore the one on the right for the moment. Let's just start with what we have on the left. I've got a cylinder here on the left. I've got a circle on the top, a circle on the bottom, and this other shape in between. And I've told you guys that is a rectangle, because if I actually peel it away, imagine like it's a label peeling it off, it actually becomes a flat rectangle. And as I peel it off, as you can see, as I'm starting to peel it off in this shape, and then as I peel it totally entirely off, okay, the length of one side of the rectangle is actually the circumference of the circle. So if I work out the circumference of the circle, I can find the length of one side of my rectangle. Okay, that's what we're going to look at doing today. So let's have a look at a few examples. First example that I've got here, it says find the surface area of the following solid object. Okay, so I've got two circles and a rectangle. Okay, I know that to find my area of a circle, what's my formula again? Oh, pi r squared. Okay, pi for the circles, it's pi, oops, actually I might just write that, I might draw them as shapes, actually in my formula. So for the circles, my formula is pi r squared. Sorry, I'm changing my mind here. Is pi r squared. Okay, now with my circles, how many circles do I have? Well, I have a circle on the top, and then I have this other circle on the bottom here. So I actually have 2 times pi r squared. So for my circles, 2 times pi r squared, that's 2 times pi times, what was my radius? What's it told me in my diagram? Okay, here, 5 meters. Okay, 2 times pi times 5 squared. Okay, so 2 times pi times 5 squared, let me just get out my calculator. Okay, I get an answer for my circles of 157.07963. Okay, I might just leave those numbers. Okay, so that is the area of both of my circles. In order to work out the area of my rectangle, I need to find out the circumference of the circle. I found out the area right now, but now I need to find out the circumference. I know I work out circumference of a circle with the formula 2 pi r. Okay, so let's just move this. Oh, I've moved my circles. Oh well. I'm going to move that working out over just a little bit. Okay, I need to find my rectangle. Okay, that's the area I need. Okay, now the area of this side of my rectangle is going to be the same as the circumference. So how am I going to do that? Okay, I know that the circumference, oops, that's meant to be a rectangle, it's a bit dodgy. I know that the circumference of a circle is done with the formula 2 pi r. Okay, and I know it'll be that answer times my other side of my rectangle, which is 25. So let's try this. 2 pi r, or 2 times pi times r, times 25. Because that's giving me 2 times pi times r is giving me all of that side, and 25 is giving me all of that side. So 2 times pi times 5, 2 times pi times 5, that multiplied by 25. Okay, let me get my calculator out again. 2 times pi times 5 of my radius gives me 31.415926 blah 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 times that to work out the area of a rectangle. It's side by side, so times it by that, I get 816.81408. Okay, total area. Total area of my cylinder is worked out by adding this guy and that guy together. So if I add those two together and I round it to 2 decimal places, I come up with an answer of 942.48. Now, what's my measurement in? Meters. Excellent. Meters. And it's area, so it's squared. So I get a total of 942.48 meters squared. Things to remember there: work out the 2 circles first, then using 2 pi r, work out the area of the rectangle second. Okay, let's have a look at one more example. Okay, let's have a look at this. This time, guys, I've got a bit of an issue. Okay, I've got a semicircle. I've got like a half cylinder. So I've got a semicircle on the front and it's cylindrical. Okay, so it's a semicircle. Now, my other problem here is this 4 centimeters, guys, is my diameter. So that's something else that I'm going to have to take into account. Okay, so that's actually my diameter. So my area of these guys is going to be 2 times brackets half times pi times my radius, which will be 2 squared. Okay, does that make sense? Because it's pi r squared, pi times my radius squared, okay? But it's going to be half of them because I've only got half of the semicircle. So let me just get out my calculator to do that. Okay, and I get an answer of 12.56637. Okay, I'll keep a few decimal places just for the moment, okay, just because it keeps things nice and orderly. Now, area of my rectangle is going to be my circumference. Now, I can work out circumference with the formula pi times my diameter. Okay, now the circumference of this circle is going to be half of that. So, okay, so rectangle is worked out. Now, it'll be half times pi times my diameter. Okay, so my diameter is 4. Now, last time in the last example, I used 2 times pi times my radius. Okay, that was because I got given the radius. This time with circumference, I can use pi times my diameter, and it'll be half of that. That will give me one side of my rectangle, and then I will multiply it by my other side of my rectangle, which gives me an answer of 50.26548, blah, 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 blah. Now, for those of you who are sitting there thinking, sweet, I must be done now. Think again, my friends, okay? What I've currently got is I've got the measurements of this circle and the corresponding one on the back. Then I've got all of this front label. But what about the flat surface on the bottom? What about the flat surface running through down here? It's a half cylinder, so it's going to have a cross section that we need to calculate as well. That cross section is going to be 4 centimeters by 8 centimeters because it's going to be a rectangle as well. So for that, I also need to calculate 4 times 8, okay? And obviously add them all together in the end. So 4 times 8. Add 32 to 50.26 and 12.56. Add them all together. So the total area of this half cylindrical shape. I was going to do some weird drawing here. I don't really know what's gone on. Okay, the total surface area of that is going to be this plus this plus this. Rounded to 2 decimal places will give me 94.83, both in centimeters squared. Okay, that is the total surface area for this type of object.